Welcome, Heartbeat family. It's so good to see you again. Today, Spitting Minister of Transport, Honorable Fikile Mbalula, sharing his thoughts and views on the RSR. And then we get to see another side of our CEO, Tshepo Gare. She's bringing us energy, y'all. She even sings for the heartbeat, y'all. But fam, this heartbeat is irregular, but in a good way, because you get to see our people's hearts through this episode, and you'll see what I mean just now. But first up, we visit our leader in her office. Heartbeat family, oh my word, today I am presenting the one, the only CEO Tshepo Gare. Oh guys, I am so excited to be interviewing her today. And you know what? We're just gonna go right into it. You know me, CEO. Something else. So please tell us about yourself. Who is Tshepo Gare?
Tshepo Gare is a young girl, a girl from Soweto. I grew up in Soweto, I was born and bred in Soweto. Went to school, boarding school in Limpopo. Every time I passed the school, I'm like, I can't believe I came out of there. But, you know, in '86, when there were riots in Soweto, so most parents were sending kids to boarding school. So I ended up in Limpopo. And I'm a very private person, very uncomfortable with this whole thing, as you know.
But please do not stress.
But I'm happy to do it because I think it is important that people know Tshepo, as you say. I'd like to think I'm very humble. Growing up, my mom always used to emphasize the importance of humility. She always said, if you don't humble yourself, God will humble you. So you do that. So, and of course, I'm sure from there you can gather. I am a Christian, so very faith-based type person. Go to church every Sunday, okay, before lockdown. But so virtual is working well, so I think I've sort of adapted to that. I like working with people. I enjoy talking to people one-on-one, and I think this works because I do get to share a bit more about myself in one-on-one conversations. But so that's just the personality. I mean, my character is built from just drawing inspiration from the women in my life, largely my mom and my grandmother. My mother, who's super humble and very nice, and my grandmother, who's very firm and with a very strong personality. And I think I've drawn from both those characters. I always say that when you're nice, people tend to think you're weak, and I think just that sort of having those two characters in my life influence me that much. I think I possess both. I can be super nice, but I think where I need to make tough decisions, I come through. And those who have worked with me in RSR would know that, and elsewhere. I am very driven professionally, and I think I've had an exciting career. I've lived in various parts of the world, and I've enjoyed that tremendously. One of the things I missed the most, sort of coming back to South Africa, was having jobs that did not give the space for extensive travel. But I find as I got older, I don't really, I'm not crazy about it as much, because I almost feel like I've seen many cities.
Name a couple of the cities you've been to, or the countries you've been to.
Well, I've lived in Washington, D.C., I've lived in the UK, different parts of the UK. I've lived in Addis Ababa, in Ethiopia, and probably one of my lasting experiences, actually, Ethiopia is a special kind of place. I don't think it's a place you choose, but once you've been, it's a place you never forget because of their sort of strong sense of being. They're very proud people. They're the only country in Africa to have never been colonized, so they're very proud of that heritage. I've lived in Lusaka, just around the corner, so I think from that perspective, I really, and I mean, Ethiopia, you almost meet anyone from anywhere in the world. It's one of the countries, I think after New York and Belgium, it has the most number of embassies and international diplomats.
Wow.
So from that perspective, you met pretty much anyone from anywhere in the world.
And while you were away, what made you realize, I need to come back home? What did you miss the most?
Look, just the closeness of family, the support that you get from family. You know, being out there, it's all well and good, it's fun, it's exciting, but there are moments where you just want to be home. So in fact, my transition back to South Africa almost was coming back from Lusaka. So being in Lusaka was nice because I could just fly 2 hours and be in Joburg. So for me, but I think it's really family. But I also, at the time, I have a 10-year-old boy who is autistic. And I think the more I've been with him, the more I've realized the importance of a strong family support, because it does require a lot of support. So I think today, even though I do have fantasies about moving abroad, but I do recognize with an autistic child the importance of just having a family structure. I don't think I could do this job without that family support, to be honest.
And tell me, what were your dreams and aspirations growing up?
You know, I wanted to be a doctor.
Nice!
I wanted to be a medical doctor. I'm very squeamish, by the way. I can't stand pain. I'm the sort of person who screams every time I bend myself a little bit or something like that. So, but my mom's a nurse. So she said to me, "Sure, you want to be a doctor?"
Big squeamish and all.
What are you?
But what kind of advice would you perhaps give a young person who's interested in following in your footsteps?
Look, I think fortunately today, it's no longer, you know, back then, when you went into a civil engineering program, you would be like one woman in a class of 30 or 20, whatever the number, but you would be in the minority. Today, it's not like that anymore, which I think is good. And I'd say, but with every profession, not just this one, I would say that you have to be focused, you have to be persistent, you don't get there in the second day. When what I see with young people today, intense in this case, they start a job, they want a big car and a big flat. Before you know it, they're caught up in the rat race. And then they want to progress quickly, just because of the material aspects of working. I think it is important that you focus on actually building a career. I've been in the transport industry for more than 20 years. I've never worked outside the transport profession. I've worked in various modes of transport, but I've really stayed within transport. So I think as a base, I can safely call myself a transport professional because of the experience I've had in the sector. Remember, rail is just one mode, but I mean, my career in transport spans over 20 years. And it started off with basic things like, I like making a joke about how we used to do traffic counts on the M1, and people would say, "But I thought you studied engineering, why are you counting?" Why are you counting cars? I think even today, so I started off as in the traffic engineering space. So people say, "But what is traffic engineering?" And I always say, "Well, the signals don't just work. You know, somebody makes them work. Somebody has to time them."
And you kind of forget that, right? You kind of forget the road.
Why Is there a slip lane here? Somebody has to design that. But I always say I've spent a lot of time in the industry, and I've exposed myself to various areas. I always say sometimes young people tend to say, I want to do this because I want to see myself here. And I always say that sometimes that's not how it happens. I don't think I ever had aspirations of being a CEO, to be honest. I always thought of myself as a person who's going to sit and punch and do modeling of roundabouts and all sorts of things. But I think the steps I've taken in my career, the places I've found myself in, have actually led me to this place. So I think sometimes we do spend a lot of time saying, I want the top job, but actually just focus on the job you're doing today. That in itself will lead you to the top job.
I love that. And it also goes back to God has a plan for you.
And when that purpose is there, no one can change it.
Everything will be aligned. Everything will be aligned. I love that.
You'll be where you're supposed to be.
Amen.
So where you are today is where you're supposed to be.
Amen. Amen. I love that. And what is your vision for the RSR? The future vision?
Look, RSR, I think we've done really well as an organization in the last couple of years. I've been arguing that with clean audits and all, it's clear that from an administration point of view, we are doing the right things. We've managed to pursue clean governance. We've been able to manage the finances better and all of that. So we achieve 100% performance. So when you look at us, if you're very inward looking, you see that we've made a lot of progress. But I still believe that we need to get to a point where there's impact. PRASA should feel that there is an RSR, or at the very least, we should be able to show the impact that we've had on industry at large. So beyond just running the organization well, achieving these 100%, our 100% we need to find a way to translate them into visible impact in the sector.
Now, thank you so much, CEO. But I want us to shift gears a little bit. You know how we do it at the Heartbeat. CEO, I'm going to ask you your favorite movie, favorite song.
Shawshank Redemption.
Please repeat that. Please repeat that for the cameras.
No, but over the weekend I was looking at The Holiday.
Oh wow!
I love Kate Winslet. Yeah. And I've watched that movie 100 times.
I love it. I love it.
On the sort of like macho side of me is Shawshank, but
yes.
On the very gaily tempo, The Holiday.
The Holiday. The Holiday. And
I love Kate
favorite
Winslet.
actor.
Actor is Jude Law.
Jude Law. That is so random, but why not?
The British accent that comes out, maybe it's because of the movie. He's got this very strong.
Now you're hitting me right here.
Yeah, okay.
The minute you mentioned the British accent, you hit me here. You hit me here. Favorite singer?
Favorite singer? India Arie. I have India Arie like every
soulful sister right there. Yes. So favorite song from India Arie?
Beautiful. Okay, I can't.
You saw it first here on the Heartbeat, guys. I love it. And favorite actress?
Well, I think, as I said, Kate Winslet. I just love how she's just her. You know, the pressure of Hollywood, of being a size zero, and how she's unfazed by it. And I've followed her for many years, so I've followed a lot of her movies just because of that. I guess for the full Africa,
love it.
It is quite something that we'd like to hear. But you know, it's okay not to be size zero. So yeah,
it's okay.
Love it for
By the way, little tidbit here. Titanic 2 is coming. Leonardo DiCaprio comes alive again. So we'll be watching that. It'll be our next movie review.
There you go.
Thank you so much, CEO. I really appreciate it. Thank you, fam. Yes! I'm loving the vibes the CEO is giving us. Now, over to Mrs. Dondolo. What's up, girl?
Hello there. I'm presenting the Minister of Transport, Fikile Mbalula, on the RSR Heartbeat. Go for it, Zanele.
Minister, thank you so much for joining us on the RSR Heartbeat. We are so excited to have you with us. So just to jump into it, I wanted to find out from you, what motivates you? What keeps you going on a daily basis?
Well, since I was a child, I mean, what motivated me is the escalations of the people's demands. As long as we do have challenges, we have freedom, and we have not attained everything of what we want to. Economic freedom, we've got challenges as a democratic state. To wake up and to be part of a collective and to be recognized among many members of the ANC, I wake up and think that I'm privileged. It is not the right, because there are others who can do the job even better than me. And the fact that the president overnight or wherever took time to think about me, to serve in this portfolio, motivated me to think that I think that on its own is motivation enough to say that it's a privilege. Make it a point that you make a difference. And you don't think about what others think, but think about why me and why must I do this job. It means there is something special that somebody have seen in me. So that makes me to really wake up and to preoccupy myself like 100% with the job itself. There's a lot of challenges in Department of Transport. They are huge, and I think we toil every day with the Deputy Minister and the staff here to get things done, and I know we're going to win. I believe in that. I know we're going to win. We do have, uphill challenges and all of that, but they will never disrupt us. We're going to overcome.
And Minister, in your opinion, what do we do well as the RSR, and what could we improve on to ensure commuter safety?
Look, RSR, I'm very happy about it, especially now with your new CEO. I think she's got a wealth of experience and well organized. I think it's one woman who convinced me that she's good at what she does. Even when I arrived here, that she was acting. Their intervention and the experience that she come with, particularly from abroad, and also the fact that they do a professional job to make it a point that our entities, particularly policing passenger rail and getting it a point that they keep up to the standards and that there is no corruption and favoritism. Standards are standards that must be kept to get the rail network going, particularly passenger rail. I think I'm very motivated by that, because their role is regulatory, and I think they are doing a splendid job, and anyone who will come here will realize that we're running a tight ship here, and that is what is important for me. Nothing is falling apart in this part of the world, and that is why I'm happy. You will never hear me anywhere in the streets shouting about RSR, because there's nothing to come here for, because the job has been done, and it's been done very well, and that's what motivates me and about this particular entity.
Thank you so much, Minister. We really appreciate the interview.
Thank you very much. Lovely.
This is Zanele Nonzimba reporting live from the heartbeat of the RSR. Thank you, Minister.
Part of the job to hand over some prizes to our values champion. So let's get going.
Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations for your winning today. So my first question to you that I'd like to ask is, were you surprised when you found out you were nominated as a value champion for mutual respect?
Yes, I was actually pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
I thought there were quite a lot of people that exhibit that value within the RSR. So I was really surprised.
Oh wow. Okay, all right. I'd like to find out on what does this value mean to you personally?
For me, it means like it's for proactive people who can think on their feet, who can work like around the clock. And that's me since I've been moving from department to department. So yeah, I think it was perfect for me. So yeah, this is what I'm doing on a daily basis. Basically. Yeah, I move from one job and then I'm helping another person with something else totally different from what I've been doing. So
that's great. Were you surprised when you found out that you were nominated as the best employee of the year?
Definitely surprised. It honestly came as a shock.
Wow.
I was honestly not expecting it. Celine will actually attest to this. I almost killed her eardrum when I actually found out about it. So it definitely came as a surprise.
Oh wow, I'm so good. So like, what was your first reaction when the call came through from Celine to tell you about this nomination for this category?
The first reaction was, did you really just do that? Were you really recognized for that? But it's still so surreal. I still cannot believe it to this point.
Okay. So the other question that I'd like to check or to find out from you is that how do you maintain the streak of excellence in your workplace?
So for me, it's all about the hard work and dedication. And like I mentioned before, always making sure that I immerse myself in everything that I do, in every single task, and you can attest to this. We don't sleep. We don't sleep at home. You know what I'm saying? So I know you're with me on this.
I understand.
It's always pushing. It's always pushing. And when you're doing something that you love, you want to excel. You want to give off your very best. So that for me is what maintaining that streak is all about.
You deserve it. I know you deserve it. Find out on what was your reaction when you found out that you've been nominated as the Value Champion for Integrity.
Wow, thank you so much. I honestly couldn't believe it. I was not even expecting to be nominated. In case you don't know me, I'm an introvert. So I never thought that people are really noticing, especially when it comes to our character. I feel very honored, and when I thought that maybe I don't deserve it, it quickly came back to my mind. Just remembering my childhood, and I'm thanking my grandmother and my mother for teaching me about basic things, how you should do the right things, whether you are seen or not, in the closet or in the public. I guess I've lived with this for the whole 45 years of my life, or say from 2 years, because in the first few months I don't think I was actually understanding anything. But yes, I've lived with this for the past 43 years of my life, and it helps. It's one thing that I do without even thinking. I strive for perfection. At times I think being a perfectionist it's an enemy to myself. But yeah, it works, and thank you so much to those who voted for me.
No, that's innovation to me means just identifying areas within your workspace or in the organization overall wherein you could improve business processes, efficiencies.
Wrapping us up, the colleagues share how they embody the RSR values.
Hey fam, my name is Dolani Hlachwayo and I'll be speaking on transparency. I believe that when you are transparent, you are open and honest about everything you do. It's about a full disclosure whereby you don't leave a room for uncertainties, because there is clear openness, communication and truthfulness.
Greetings to everybody. My name is Rachel Sitwe. So the value that drives me on a daily basis, or I live by, is excellence. I naturally believe in going above and beyond to achieve a certain target successfully. In the department that I'm from, which is Media and Communications, is a department that has always strived to deliver on target, and we've been maintaining the standard ever since. I ensure to go an extra mile wholeheartedly in order not only to deliver, but to deliver quality results no matter the challenges experienced. I give my all so that the quality of the outcomes impress and satisfy me first, so that my manager and the organization is 10 times more satisfied.
Hi everyone, my name is Sindisa Maluleke. I work for RSR in the ICT division. Today I'm going to talk about fairness. Let me start by asking a question. Who says life is fair? Yes, I'm one of those who believe that life is fair. What is fairness? Fairness is the ability to make judgments free from discrimination and dishonesty. The value of fairness has less to do with equality or making everyone happy, but fairness is about the process of decision making, not what people want to hear or see. The point of fairness in business. In a business setting, the goal is to make good decisions that serve the needs of the business, at the same time without harming anyone. Bearing in mind that not everyone will be happy with a fair decision or judgment.
My name is Khanyisa Shweni and I'm a safety inspector. Here at the RSR, we engage with operators on a daily basis. The operators are our customers, and we need to ensure that we treat them with mutual respect. By respecting each other, the work environment becomes a healthy place to be, because you are able to express your ideas in a conducive way. Mutual respect also assists in creating a positive work culture. When we conduct audit and inspections, the energy we give off is reciprocated. As safety inspectors, we are accountable for sticking to our promises.
Hi all, I'm Tanzangulu from the head office, and I would like to share my thoughts on timely and accountable delivery. This value for me means you take ownership and initiative at all times while making sure that you always deliver on time. It's what drives high performance at the workplace. It's taking responsibility and accountability for the quality and timeliness of your work.
Hi good people, I'm Spiwo Lutango from Media and Communications at Railway Safety Regulator. The value I identified and embodied with is integrity, which instills confidence in me and to our internal and external stakeholders, for instance, our employees and operators who want professionalism and efficient service when it comes to service delivery. This value is part of our operational and strategic plan blueprint publications, such as annual and operational plan and strategic documents.